Is it somebody I don't know? This is the moment you're meant to know.
Hello, my sunflowers. How are you? I hope you had a glorious, what is this, Memorial Day weekend?
Yes.
Today is Memorial Day, yes?
Yes.
Well, I hope you had a glorious Memorial Day weekend. Baby Crone and we're still trying to get over cold. So if I
Yes.
sound a little nasal, I'm feeling better. I'm, better than what I was. So, we're getting better. These colds are lingering, aren't they?
They really are.
Jesus, I used to catch a cold, would go away in a couple of days. This has been like going on for 2 weeks almost. Well, nevertheless, I hope you had a fabulous Memorial Day. I mean, do Memorial Day people cook out? I know this is the day beach opens up and stuff like that. Well, anyway, I hope you had a great Memorial Day. And this is supposed to be for the veterans,
Yes.
and that has gone on, but it's also for family and friends who have gone on. And my sister has gone on, I think it's 3 years now.
Yes.
So, it is for loved ones as well. So with that being said, let's get into the housewives of Atlanta. Go, Baby Crone.
Well, first off, it started off with Kelly and Shamia. Kelly was saying that she wanted to plan a girls' trip to Grenada. And
of all places.
I know Shamia could not guess it for the life of her. But she offered Shamia to help plan this girls' trip, so that was nice to see. Also, Kelly is talking about how she is currently stressed out with her divorce, and the process is taking a lengthy time. Yeah, and then that was pretty much it for Shamia and Kelly. Then we move on to Portia, who's currently at that time was house hunting, and she took Angela and her sister along with her to go,
and her mom
to go searching for a house.
Now, why is she looking for a house when she's saying that the house that Simon and her had, that's her house? It would be no way I would want that man's house after he had it before me. All that mojo, bad energy, I wouldn't want it. So now she can afford the house. And you could tell that she's so hooked on money, because she said the house that she was looking at is $4 million, but the house that she's in is $7 million, and that she can afford that. I don't believe so. I don't even know if she can afford $4 million. I mean, come on. I mean, she might, but I don't know. I don't know. She could. But because she put it out there, she made it questionable.
Yes.
She put it out there. And when you put out there and you start talking about prices, you're putting it in my head like you don't have it like that.
Oh,
because people with money don't talk about prices.
That's true.
But she wanted us to know, this is the house is 400,000, that's 4 million, but I could get it. I don't think she can. And now it's like she's trying to what is she planning on keeping the house with her and Simon?
I don't know. I thought that house was in the process of getting foreclosed.
Or getting ready to go to foreclosure. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I know that was just kind of phony of her going house hunting. Why are you going house hunting if you can afford that house?
Exactly.
Simon is gone. He's not paying for it. So if you want it,
pay for it.
Pay for it. It's yours.
Exactly. You fought for it.
You fought for it. Pay for it.
Exactly. I also find it interesting that she took Angela's house hunting with her, another realtor, because Angela is talking about how she has 7 investment properties, and she can't sell. No, and she $2 million in debt. So the house that she's currently selling, she's selling it at buying price. So therefore, she definitely did lose out on all the work that she had put into that house.
Now, from what I've seen, I think it's overpriced from the house that she showed. I think it's overpriced, especially for the closet and the master bedroom. I thought it was overpriced. I thought it was dated. And
it was dated.
And she's asking that. I think she really needs to come down. And she said that she did come down on it. So we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah.
So with that being said, lastly about Portia is that she's nervous about her court date coming up because last time she didn't attend the court date.
It seems like she don't want to go to court.
No, no.
She's trying to do everything she can not to go to court. And she even mentioned Cordell that why she doesn't want to go to court.
I have no idea, honestly. I don't know. It's peculiar. However, what was even more peculiar is the fact that Brit had a country club classic event where she invited all the ladies to get a piece of her life and see what she's into.
That was the most tackiest thing I've seen ever. Especially, it would have been no way I would have went on a golf course dressed like that with heels.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
That was embarrassing.
And then they said when she gave the gifts, it didn't have no tissue paper. Just
yeah, they
ran out of food.
Yeah. Brit, seems like you're trying to live beyond your means and have this lifestyle that you want people to believe you have.
You don't have to have a lot to present something elegant. You don't need a lot of money to have something elegant.
That's true.
She could have tied bows on it. She could have put tissue paper in it. She could have sprayed it a little. She could have done a lot. And as far as that, she could have had finger foods. She could have. But she ran out of food. How tacky. That was tacky. That was tacky.
I really did feel bad for the audience.
And when they were out there on the field, I wouldn't have went.
Yeah. Well, first off, it was kind of odd anyway, because when she got there, the party planner hadn't even set up the event yet. So by the time everyone started arriving, there was no event really. So then she took the two ladies that was already there, which was Kelly and Shamia. And so when Portia and the other ladies started arriving, the host wasn't even there. And it was a mess.
It really was. It was a mess. It was embarrassing. I was embarrassed and I wasn't even there. You know,
yeah, for real.
Because you don't need a lot of money to present something nice. You know, so
yes.
And what she spent, she could have did better than that.
For real. I don't know where the finances went to.
And wanting it at a country club, I don't know. She had a large amount of people there, people she couldn't feed.
Yes.
She could have had finger foods. She could have had sandwiches. She could have had fried chicken tenders. Chicken winglets. Yep. She could have had enough food for everybody. She could have. And just her main table had plates for. She could have done that.
Yes. That was embarrassing when she said that her planner made it look like everybody was supposed to be fed when it was only supposed to be the cast.
Then why invite them?
Exactly. Why invite them?
That's embarrassing.
Because now the people that you invited to the party have to sit there and watch everybody else eat and watch them open up gifts that they didn't receive. So, like, what are we just here for? Like, bystanders?
That was just tacky.
It really
and
was.
You could have gave it to at least, you could say, I have 100 gifts and whatever. And I don't know. I don't know. It was awful.
Yes.
It was really awful.
It was. And funnily enough, the producers had asked Portia, how does she feel that her and her name just slipped me. Her and Brit have similar names to their brands, because Portia's is Go Naked, and then
Bare
Naked for Brit. And that's supposed to be an athletic wear where apparently you're supposed to wear the clothes and feel naked while you're exercising.
And she gave somebody an extra large.
Yeah, Angela.
And Angela was offended by that.
She was. And she was like, well, you guys could exchange sizes if you need to. That is kind of embarrassing, missizing somebody.
It really wasn't much going on, really.
It was really just Brit's outfit. And
Phaedra.
Phaedra and Drew, because Drew signed her record deal.
Yes.
And in that process.
Speaking of Drew, I just heard today that her and her husband, he's out of the basement I don't call it a basement. He out of the lower level of his home because they are wanting to show the kids that there is togetherness. They eating from each other's hands and stuff. this. I think it's good. If they can manage to get back together, why not?
Mm-hmm.
But isn't she still with the gay girl? I think so.
Hi. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So go ahead. I just wanted to throw that in there too.
Yeah, because Drew definitely did dodge that topic when it was brought
she did.
up.
But not too much was going on. But go ahead.
Yeah, although I do question the fact of what Dennis' role is in all of this, because Drew called up Dennis saying, "Are you saying that I'm trying to get with you to have some free studio time?"
Well, for me, it's like no matter what he said to Portia like rope him into saying things, and he say it or he allude to it, and Portia run with it.
Got you.
That's how it comes off to me. Whether they did or whether they didn't, at this point, it doesn't matter.
No,
it doesn't matter.
They're now official business
They are
partners.
not together. I don't know why Portia is having a hissy over it. It's over. It's done. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Portia cares.
Yeah, that's the only person that really cares in this. And she says it's for the sake of her children.
Her child.
Yes.
Whatever. Her child. Girl, please. I can't. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Oh, how could we forget the fact that Shamia, speaking of Drew, Shamia and Drew had a little falling out or disagreement with each other, because Drew felt as though Shamia was taking things back to Portia and portraying her in a bad light. Mm-hmm. So she was just like, in return, I called you a lapdog because that is lapdog behavior.
That was an insult.
It was.
And no matter which way you look at it, Drew, that was an insult. And you said that you can bring snacks or something. Those were insults. And so don't try to backpedal on that.
Exactly.
They are insults. And another thing, Angela's husband, he just act weird to me.
He does.
I don't. What's his name?
Charles.
He's just weird acting to me. And he just act distant towards Angela. I'm not feeling him at all.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Even the way he talked to Brit, because Brit tried to clear the air, saying, "I'm not."
Well, she wasn't trying to clear the air. She said an insult, and he flagged her like, "You ain't no," to me. And then she kind of turned it around. They just tacky. I didn't like it, but her husband seemed kind of grumpy to me.
Yes, grumpy.
He's like a grumpy old man. Mm-hmm. He just seemed very grumpy to me.
Yes. That is true. So, and also Angela tried to clear the air that her husband, Charles, does not have any side babies.
I don't know why she brought that up. That was so awkward.
It was.
And so unnecessary.
It was.
For your husband as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's already grumpy. But I don't understand why you would put him on the spot like that. But I still like you, girl. But it's just, that was awkward.
And wrong place, wrong time.
No, and you could see Portia shriek a little bit, like yikes. It was awful, because don't go mentioning me and all this. So the other girl wanted to say something. I wouldn't have even acknowledged that. I would have just let that go. That was tacky. That Angela.
That was not the right place at all.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, you know what? Oh. That's pretty much the entire sentiment of this episode, is that a lot of things was just out of place and awkward.
Well, okay, but when Portia went to visit Phaedra, that just seemed like an overreactive moment. But I get it. Do it for the camera's sake. And the way that they sat down and they talked, I don't know. It just, for me right now, I don't know. I got to see more of it. For me, in my opinion, it just seemed like Phaedra seemed so desperate to be back on that show. That's what it feels like. That's the sentiment I'm getting. I got to see it next week when they go away. But she just seems so desperate to be back in there. And honestly, at this point, she don't fit.
No, at this point.
The girls seem a little younger, and she just doesn't fit. And no, but we'll see.
Yeah, pretty much maybe all Phaedra could bring is just, her messiness, how she is.
Well, she brought good time. She wanted to bring the good time. I get that, but she just doesn't fit anymore. But let me see. It ain't the same. Sometimes you want to go back and recapture what was, but it's lost in time. And I just don't think it's the cast. I like Cynthia Rowe.
Yeah, that's true.
Drew and Portia, I get it. But Phaedra, I just don't get it. But I guess she wanted to be on so badly, they let her back on. But we'll see. But I'm not feeling her. But she just got back. She just overly excited, overly seems over the top. But let me see. Let me look at it next week and see how it goes.
Yeah, when Phaedra's finally around the girls.
Right.
However, just a last few little things to touch about this episode. I liked how some of the ladies, specifically Shamia and Kelly, can call out and acknowledge the fact that Drew is known to
lie.
Yeah, lie.
But she's always been known as a liar. So to lie about things and embellish. So I've always felt that way about her.
Yes.
And I always felt like she was a social climber. So I like her. But that's how I see her,
Yes. I was just glad that some of the other ladies called it out. So it's not like just us speculating, but actual people can see it too.
Right.
Speaking of which, let's briefly talk about the fact that Portia, Shamia, and Candy. I'm trying to figure out
Candy.
Candy Burris. I'm trying to figure out how did Candy Burris get into the conversation, today's conversation, about why Portia and Shamia have fallen out in their friendship. Because it seems like Candy has shared the fact that...
Was that on the show?
No, this is just what's going on in real time.
Okay.
Yeah, Candy is talking about Portia and Shamia's relationship, friendship. I'm not sure if it was like on a podcast recently.
Probably on Candy's podcast.
And she basically feels as though the best thing I could say is that she doesn't favor Shamia.
Who doesn't?
Candy.
Candy likes Shamia.
Oh, okay. At least that was the sentiment that I had picked up on. The fact
Candy loves Shamia. Shamira. What's her name? Shamia. No. Was she on the show? She was on the show with the other girl. The other ex-housewife. I can't think of her name. But they were talking about that. But no, Candy likes Shamia. I'm 100 about that.
Oh, okay.
Well, 99.
Okay. But I just must have misinterpreted the situation.
Yeah. No, she really likes Shamia. She really wanted Shamia on the show. So, yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
So, the only reason why I segued that in there, because that was a nice transition to talk about what's going on with Candy and her family situation that she has.
Speaking of Candy, her Aunt Bertha have Alzheimer's. Yes, in real time. And she's really dealing with it. You could tell that it's really rough on the family and that she really doesn't want to talk about it. Yeah.
So with that being said, we talked about all the Housewife of Atlanta ladies now. So
I didn't think it was a great episode, but hopefully next week it'll give us something. I wish that they could have it like boom, like 2 or 3 good episodes in a row. Then you can give us but you get a good episode, then you get a dry episode. You get a good episode, then you get a dry episode. And when they were talking about Kenya, it was a good episode. We were sick of it.
Yes.
But now it's like it's I don't know. It seems if they need to keep it going. And I think by putting all the people in and trying to give them all storylines, it's over the top. And just like that little piece that they did with what's her name? They gave the thing.
Brit.
No.
Yeah, that was
like that was not good. Then they was out there on the field walking with tills on. It's no way I would have messed up my stilettos on the hill, like honestly.
Uh-huh.
But they were good sportsmanship, but it couldn't be me. They looked like clowns.
They
actually.
did on that golf course.
And Shamia, sometimes her outfits are
I get it.
those fuzzy shoes. I don't know. I have a pair of bare boots that look like her shoes. Just I don't know, Shamia. I think maybe she should maybe have somebody to come in and help her pick out some of her outfits. Sometimes she does good, but other times I'm like, I don't know.
That is true. That's Shamia. She's a hit or miss for you in the fashion
department. She's a hit or miss, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we definitely.
And I think they all overdress.
All of them. 100%.
I think with the fur, it has. Oh my God, they look like clowns to me. Honestly,
Were they back in the Victorian age?
They just seem so not real, fake, to be dressed overly dressed. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's doing the most.
It's to me, So
it's actually not even relatable because who realistically goes around dressed around like that 24/7?
Yeah, that is unrelatable. You're right. So anyway. Anything else?
No, that was it.
Well, that's all we got. That's what we got out of. That's what we gleaned from the episode. Well, I hope that you enjoyed our take on it. Not much going on, but what can I say? So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please, we'll really appreciate it. If you want to add or give us a comment, please leave it below. I will respond. And until we meet again next week on this episode, because that's supposed to be pretty fiery. Let's see what Phaedra bring. I'm excited about next week because God knows we need some water in the plant because it was boring. Please. I had to look at it twice because I fell asleep and then I had to watch it again. So we'll see what's going on. So hopefully next episode will be a little bit more entertaining.
Yes, hopefully.
Hopefully. And with that being said, we'd like to thank you. And you know what we say?
Yes. Sunflowers.